Good day, everyone. Our topic for this day is about quadratic equations. So, our objectives are first to illustrate the quadratic equations and to determine the values of a, b, and c in the given quadratic equations. Hello, welcome to my tutorial, and I am Ma'am Annie. And for today's topic, we are going to discuss what are quadratic equations. When we say quadratic equation, this is an equation in second degree. The general form of quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. When we say general form of quadratic equations, lahat ng terms na meron tayo sa equations ay nakalagay sa isang side ng equations. And when we say second degree, the highest exponent present in the equation is 2. Kapag ang highest exponent sa isang equation ay 3, hindi na siya matatawag na quadratic equations. Okay, where x is the variable, here the x, and a, b, and c are constants, and a should not be 0. Okay, why is it a should not be equal to 0? It is because kapag ang a natin naging 0, yung term na ito ay magiging 0. At once na ito ay maging 0, hindi na tayo magkakaroon ng highest exponent of 2 at hindi na siya in second degree. So what are the examples of quadratic equations? We have 3x squared plus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so as you can see, the highest exponent here is 2. Okay, and then we have also x squared minus 8x plus 10 is equal to 0. And x squared minus 16 is equal to 0. So all those equations are in general form of quadratic equations. Next examples of quadratic equation, we have x squared plus 5x is equal to negative 8. We have also x squared is equal to 36x. And x squared is equal to negative 12x plus 7. So our first idea again about quadratic equation is the highest exponent is 2. It is way different from the first set of equations because these are not yet in general form. The terms of the equations are distributed to left and right side of the equations. Next, what are the non-examples of quadratic equation? First, we have 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. As you can see on this equation, it is not in second degree. Next is we have x cubed plus x squared minus 36x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so kahit na meron tayong exponent to 2, but the highest exponent here is 3. So therefore, this is not also a quadratic equation. And then last, we have x minus 2 is equal to 1. Obviously, this equation is not in second degree. Now, this time, we were now moving on to the next objective of this day. That is to determine the values of A, B, and C in the quadratic equation. So we have in our quadratic equation, we have the constant of the equation that should be in A is the numerical coefficient of x squared. So kung babalikan natin ang quadratic equation, we have A x squared, okay, ax squared, then plus bx, sorry, maano na yung sulat, okay, bx plus c is equal to, okay, is equal to 0. Okay, so A, that is the numerical coefficient of x squared. So that means any number na katabi ng x squared, yun yung magiging value ng a. Okay? And then, b is the numerical coefficient of x. So, that means any constant na katabi ng x natin, that will be the value of b. Okay? And last, we have c. C is a merely constant. When we say constant, that is only a number and not a variable. So, let us have an example. 3x squared plus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so first, let us identify the value of A, B, and C. To get the value of A, okay, ang A ay numerical coefficient of x squared. So, kung ano man ang katabi ng x squared, yun ang magiging value ng A. So, therefore, A is equal to 3. And the next, ang value ng B is the numerical coefficient of x squared. So, therefore, kung ano ang katabi ng x sa ating sa ating equation, that will be the value of B. And then last, since this term is a number only, therefore, that will be the value of C. Then, it is equal to 0. So, the final answer here is A is equal to 3, B is equal to 4, and C is equal to negative 5. Please be reminded of this idea in getting the values of A, B, and C. Next, another example, we have x squared minus 12x plus 7 is equal to 0. So, again, A is the numerical coefficient of x squared. So, tingnan natin sa x squared. Pero automatic na, kapag walang number dyan, hindi yan 0. Okay? Hindi yan 0. Kasi kapag yan yung naging 0, wala na tayong term na x squared. So, therefore, the value of A is 1. And then, tingnan natin yung value ng B. Ang value ng B natin, B is the numerical coefficient of x. So, titingnan natin si x. Ano yung number na katabi ng x? So, we have 12. But we have to consider the operation before the number, since we have minus 12. Therefore, the value of B is negative 12. And then last, we have a constant number here. We have plus 7, which is the last term. Okay, so to know the sign of the constant term, you always look on the operation before that number. If we have plus and 7, we will use 7 as the positive. So, A is equal to, A is equal to 1, B is equal to negative 12, and C is equal to 7. How about this? How about if the given quadratic equation does not equate to 0? For example, if you have 4x squared plus 3x is equal to negative 4. How can we find the values of A, B, and C? Matatandaan natin na itong equation na to ay hindi naka-general form. So, let us now determine the values of A, B, and C in this equation. So, it is not yet in general form. So, to make this in general form, we will use the addition property of equality. Okay, so dapat lahat ng terms natin ay inilagay sa right side ng equation to make this in general form. So, katulad kanina, kung maglalagay tayo ng isang term dito, mag-iiba yung sign. If we have negative 4, pagdating sa kabilang side ng equation, siya ngayon ay magiging positive 4. And since nilipatan natin siya dito sa kabila natin na right side ay magiging 0. And this, ito na yung naka-general form, we can now able to determine the values of A, B, and C. Therefore, the final answer is A is equal to 4, B is equal to 3, and C is equal to positive 4. Let us have another example. If we have 2x squared equals 11. This is not yet in general form again. So, ang inilipat natin ay si 11 sa kabila. Pwede rin si 2x squared dun din sa kabila. So, any terms will do. Basta nakalagay sa isang side ng equation. So, if we have positive 11, ilalagay natin siya sa kabila, siya ngayon ay magiging negative 11. Then, it is equal to 0. So, kapag ito ay naging negative 10, ang magiging operation nandito ay minus. So, now, the values of A is 2. And then, since the equation na to ay walang term na x, so therefore, yung b natin ay wala. And we have also the constant term which is negative 11. So, wala siyang katabi na variable, kaya ginawa natin siya ay magiging c. So, therefore, the values of a is 2, b is equal to 0, and c is equal to negative 11. So let us have this 21x squared is equal to negative 2x. Again, this is not yet in general form. Using the APE, kasi negative 2x ay dapat pupunta sa left side ng equation. So may gain positive 2x, then it is equal now to 0. Determining the constants, we have A as 21, B as 2, and since wala naman tayong constant term dito aside from 0, therefore si C ay 0. Now, the final answer is A is equal to 21, B is equal to positive 2, and C is equal to 0. So let us have this. Multiply 2x times the quantity of x minus 3 is equal to negative 11. At first sight, you may see that this equation is not quadratic. But this equation is not yet in simplified form. Okay? So, ang gagawin, i-distribute natin yung 2x doon sa mga terms na nasa loob ng open and close parentheses. And to do this, 2x times x, we have 2x squared. And then we have 2 times negative 3, we have negative 6x. And we will have this, 2x squared minus 6x is equal to negative 11. Okay? But this equation is not yet in general form. And using again the addition property of equality, okay, 2x squared minus 6x, and si negative 11, pagdating sa kabila ay magiging positive 11. Then equate to 0. Then determine the values of A, B, and C. A is equal to 2, B is equal to negative 6, and C is equal to 11. So let us have our practice. I will give 4 items for you to answer. Determine the values of A, B, and C in the given quadratic equation. Pause this video for 5 minutes to solve this exercise. I do believe na masasagutan niyo ito dahil madali lang naman ito. So now, here are the answers from the given exercises earlier. Okay, so number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So these are the values of A, values of B, and the values of C. I do believe na marami sa inyo ang makakuha ng tamang sagot dahil una, madali lang naman ito. Nandun na mismo ang sagot mula sa tanong. But before we end this video, I want to share one quote from Saint Joseph Marello, that you can be extraordinary in ordinary things. Just believe in yourself and believe in God. Thank you, and God bless.